New Orleans is on a constant termite alert. Termites attack everything: roofs, door and window frames, utility poles, books, archives. Panic grows as houses collapse. Xylophagous termites are very destructive. Although they live underground, their natural progression is upwards into ceilings. As soon as they've eaten the first story, they move on to the second.
That's what's left of this structure here.
Well, yeah, lots of damage up here. And you can see it going along the front side of this where a door used to sit.
I'm gonna go look down here, see if I can find any termite trails.
Good luck, Ed.
Oh! Here's a picture here. You see what termites can do. There.
Boy, that looks wet
Look.
and rotted
Right there.
and full of termites.
So
Promotions,
why
of
these
course.
termites are being completely taken over this place. Yeah.
No room for anyone else to live here.
Greg Henderson is a consultant termite slayer to the New Orleans City Board.
Termites will attack anyone's home, be they wealthy, poor, white or black, they don't care. In Louisiana, termites have become an obsession. One termite does no damage. Millions of termites, though, are attacking homes in Louisiana. It's the equivalent of a small dog, eating constantly from one home to another.
The old timber frame houses in the French Quarter are their prime target. But now they have a new dish of the day, the joints of skyscrapers. They even attack the house of God.
Boy, look at the job they did on this cypress here.
They ate it up, didn't they?
Right, went right through it. You know, we just had a problem last week where we were checking the clock in the front. It fell down into the street.
Wooden clock?
Wooden clock.
Might want to change to plastic.
Well, we're going to have to do something, you know, because it does no good to pray, because the termites come to church every day.
You're right.
Today, new legions of very aggressive enemies are on the attack. Formosan termites come as stowaways on boats from Asia, and they don't care if wood is dead or alive, they'll still eat it.
Well, about 4 in the morning, I woke up to a loud noise to find a tree in my car. There wasn't any wind. There was nothing like that. It was just, apparently just termite damage.
Termite activity is obvious in that part of the tree. Help to weaken it, certainly.
These accidents are more and more frequent, and Greg estimates that 1 tree in 4 is infested by termites. His job is to find new kinds of insecticide to kill off the tree chewers. Greg tries out his new products on trees in the bayous up until now protected from urban chemical warfare. The termites' days may be numbered. Greg and Alan return to the place where the tree destroyed the car to find out just how much of the tree the termites had infested before it was felled.
Jesus, there's a lot of termite in this tree.
Yeah, just about as many as I've ever seen.
In New Orleans, over 2,000 trees hollowed out from the inside are felled every year. Greg pulls the nest out of the tree heart and stump. There must have been over 1 million invaders in the colony. Munching mandibles cost each and every inhabitant of New Orleans $1,500 a year. That has got to stop. The chemists are now deploying WMDs, weapons of mass destruction, to slay the invisible invaders. This war is fought in the trenches, in ambushes, and with large-scale gas campaigns. Householders flee the battlefield for 48 hours.
Right there to help you to get it.
Okay.
In New Orleans, 500 homes are gassed each year, an extreme solution to counter the uncountable enemy hordes. It takes just a few years to chew up a house. People no longer dare touch wood for luck, in case it disintegrates.
Yeah, when I bought this house, I had all the necessary termite inspections, which they said there were absolutely no termites in the house, so I felt really good about it. But as you can see, when we started the renovation, as we tore the walls open, it was totally infested. The house was literally falling down, and I was forced to sell it as a tear down.
That's heavy infestation right there.
In Louisiana, insurers refuse to cover the termite risk, and it's impossible to sell a house without certificates proving it's termite-free. As a result, 10,000 infested homes are unsaleable.
I made an offer on this house just last week, but I'm having second thoughts. I walked out of my house yesterday morning, and what do I see? But across the street here, they're tenting this house for termites. And I hear it's pretty seriously infested, so I'm really having second thoughts. I mean, should I buy it or should I not? It's a tough decision.
One termite may just be the visible tip of the iceberg. This man is not a pop art freak, but an expert honoris termite at the UN. He believes in using insecticide in surgical strikes. To do this, he is trying to work out the family ties between termite colonies by identifying them with colors which fluoresce under UV radiation. Mission objective is to get the termites to poison each other. Usually, termites from different colonies do not get on well. In fact, they fight to the death to defend their territories. They tear open their enemies' stomachs with their mandibles and leave them to bleed to death. Brian noticed that most colonies in a district, and even a city, share grandmother queens. The termites recognize their distant cousins and cohabit without strife. His findings mean that by judiciously poisoning the members of a small colony, you decimate the termites in a city.
I think we have a well-established population of termites numbering in the tens of thousands. And what we want to do is find out how well related they are and how many groups of brothers and sisters we have. Ready? Let's go.
By introducing fluorescent termites coated with a new contact poison into a colony, Brian can make a body count for his surgical strike.
It's a small planet, and today conflict with termite societies is inevitable. But we can't go on poisoning the environment to control termites. It takes 100 to 300 gallons of poison to treat the average American home. In the future, we'll be able to use half a gallon of insecticide intelligently.
All that has to be done now is the research for new anti-termite weapons, and in this field, American scientists aren't lacking imagination. This canine detective brigade specializes in fighting termites.
Normally, when we do a termite inspection, only 15% of the house is visible. The remaining 85% of the house is hidden behind the walls, under the carpeting, and that's where the termites want to be. With the dog's nose, it's like having X-ray vision.
No cameras, please.
There will soon be 100 accredited professional termite fighting detective dogs in the United States.
Okay, we're going to place some termites around the house in these containers. They're targets to keep the dog interested.
Now, Are those real termites that you put in my sofa?
Yeah, those are real termites, and we should be able to keep them contained in those small containers, and we'll remove them before we leave. Come on, girl. Good girl, you ready to go to work? Search here. Search up. Are there T's? Huh? Are there T's? Are there T's? What? Are there T's there? Good girl. Search for T's. Search. Are there T's? Good girl. Huh? Are there T's? Good girl.
She keeps pointing to that inner wall there.
Are there T's? Daisy, forget the hand. Search here. Are there T's? Are there T's?
She keeps scratching there. There must be something there.
No, you have to scratch. Search. Are there T's? Search, Daisy. Are there T's there? Good girl.
Daisy is always attentive to the expert report on which her nose's reputation is based. In France, spies eavesdrop on termites. There, can you hear anything? You can hear the mandibles munching the wood. There's a lot of noise. I think it's a big colony. The continuous ballet of antennae is difficult to detect in time as the termites devour intelligently, carefully leaving a thin layer of wood to hide the havoc they wreak. But today, the echo of the workers' mandibles betray them. Soldier termites are the noisiest. They send out a strange war cry by knocking their heads when they feel threatened. A strange, convulsive dance. Marching up from the south of Europe, the termites have occupied Paris, one of the northernmost reaches of their conquest, for termites hate the cold. To stop the plague, the French have passed a law making termites illegal. But if European termites are active, they're much less destructive than New Orleans wood piranhas. And now, walls have ears. Oh, the number of bites per second has slowed from 10 to 4. For me, that means infestation is still very high here. What do you think? We should continue the treatment. Today, the hidden invaders are betrayed by their tummy rumbles. Only a few resistants survive. So termites are harmful insects. So that means they're insects which cause damage. Ah, you see, they cause damage to your house. They do us harm in the fields. So termites are harmful insects. Write harmful insects on your slates. Show me your slates. Harmful insects. African schoolchildren's textbooks still give the Western point of view, but this is just not true for Africa. Termites are actually good for Kirikou and his father. Initiation day has finally arrived, and tonight Kirikou will have to hunt without help from the adults. At the beginning of the rain season, the future termite kings and queens fly off in swarms to build other colonies. Very few of these thousands of winged termites will survive the many predators. In the Ivory Coast, the Kru people attract them with the light from big fires, the candles for a huge feast. There, termites are a very rich, sought-after delicacy. They've soaked up the calories to survive for days and even months without eating. In fact, the time it takes to start a new colony. If the rainstorms do not come, the impatient termite hunters call in the rainmaker. The termite mounds are blessed and wetted in a strange ritual to call up the rain. In the Central African Republic, the Manjas don't wait for the rain, they hunt termites all the time. The hunters beat drums and sing the traditional songs to attract them. As a pre-dinner snack, the men eat handfuls of soldier termites, but the ritual really only starts when they catch a queen. Women eat the queens to promote their fertility or prolong their youth. Men are forbidden to eat queen termites. Everyone knows they reduce the libido. Queens are gigantic bellies bursting with eggs. On average, they lay an egg a second, producing 30 million a year. Once laid, the worker termites carry the eggs to the nursery rooms. Thousands of admirers, 1,000 times lighter than the queen, caress and lick her 24 hours a day. If the queen were a human being, she would weigh over 10 tons. A king termite spends most of his time snuggled up to his queen. Never leaving the royal apartment, the sovereign talks to his courtiers with chemical odor signals called pheromones. This very real language effectively regulates births to ensure the right number of workers, soldiers and reproducers are born to guarantee survival. "80% of the eggs will become worker termites programmed to operate like docile, tireless robots." The termite monarchy and civilization have already existed for over 100 million years, unlike European monarchies which have never survived for more than 500. But in the termite civilization, the concept of individual does not exist. These men are not making termite stew in a pressure cooker. Dr. Ndonazi has asked them to collect large soldier termites to make a stranger brew. Bernard Ndonazi tries to convince the father that this potion will cure his daughter's ulcer. Dad remains skeptical. As in most pygmy villages, modern medicine is non-existent. As an alternative, crushed macrothermy soldier termites are directly applied to the wound. For Ndonazi, termites are a family business.
Tout ce que j'ai appris, je l'ai appris de mon père.
All that I know, I learned from my father. Our tribe, the Sumas, have cured ulcers with termites for many generations. It only stopped when the missionaries arrived and tried to end our initiation rites. Now I've started to use this technique again. And I'm trying to spread the word so people who don't have access to antibiotics can care for themselves using this technique instead. Bernard Ndonazi is traveling all over the Central African Republic to train people in his methods, but his work is never terminated. It is probably the secretions from glands on the chitin in the soldier termite's armored heads that make these cures. Chitin has remarkable bactericidal properties and is also non-toxic and biodegradable. Soldier termites are just horn shields with oversized pairs of clipper shears. This armament is so heavy and cumbersome that they have to be beak-fed by worker termites. The panoply of cutting weapons is varied, but some termites prefer chemical warfare. In fact, they've developed guns and fire a sticky liquid which paralyzes the enemy through this tube. The properties of this liquid could also find applications in medicine. Bernard Ndonazi is proud of his success stories, in particular a Japanese couple treated for persistent ulcers and Papa Thomas's termite miracle. This man has only been treated with termites. He had had an ulcer for over a year, but at the hospital they could do nothing more for him because it was infested with maggots. Maggots? That's serious. Why was that? Because there was nobody to clean the ulcer, so they sent him home to die in his village. Central African Republic television covered the event. Everyone wanted to see Thomas, who had had a miracle cure with termites. This photograph shows the ulcer after 28 days treatment. You remember what it was like? Oh yes, it's almost a ghost story. Because people who come back from the dead are ghosts, aren't they? And Thomas was really far gone. Today is a grand day for Berrod. He's been invited to the presidential palace to give a conference on the termite healers. Hello, Dr. Donoval. I'm here for the ceremony. Well, hello, Doctor. The ambassadors and the UN and WHO delegates were convened for the presentation. This recent work on termites has revealed their therapeutic virtues. I met the Zondes in Bakuma. They make termite pies. Simple pies that keep for years and years and never go moldy. Papa Thomas owes his life to the termites, and the proof is convincing. Berrod hopes to use this clinical success to market termite pie and other handy bits of mandibles on a large scale. This woman, who looks more like a termite mound, has painful joints. In the Ivory Coast, traditional healers know that the earth from termite mounds makes an excellent orthopedic poultice and also cures mumps and chickenpox. Some even use it to help with diagnoses. They tell a patient to urinate on the mound. If the termites rush up to drink the urine, the patient has got diabetes. Next. In the Central African Republic, termites are the oracles the Nzakara consult the most. Termites prophesy by ignoring or devouring a stick left on a termite mound for a day. In Benin, huge numbers of termite mounds are believed to be the homes of gods. The sacred termite mound of Savalu is one of the most honored. It's a place to sacrifice hens, sheep and goats, usually to ensure a good harvest, a paradox when you know it's the termites that spoil the crops. In Africa, termites are worth their weight in gold. Canadian geologist Marc-André Bernier is a gold prospector. He samples termite mounds to detect gold just like African civilizations did in ancient times. Marc-André is convinced he's found a huge vein. What's this termite mound number, Thomas? 5625. That's incredible, Thomas. We sampled it less than 24 hours ago, and the termites have already completely plugged the trench we dug. To build their mounds, termite prospectors dig down over 20 meters into the ground and bring the mineral ores and noble metals to the surface. In their mandibles, they carry all kinds of building materials, including gold dust, varying from 30 microns to nearly 3 millimeters in size. For Marc-André, the termites are well-trained drilling machines which dig up his first core samples free of charge. When I decided to engage an army of termites to replace my drilling teams, very few of my geologist colleagues took me seriously. But we've managed to reduce prospecting time from 2 years to under 4 months thanks to the work of the termites. 86% of the 5,700 termite mounds sampled contained gold. This seems to prove that there's a huge strike here. Now Marc-André has called in the deep drilling machines to see if the termites were right. The winged termites have just swarmed. For the African geologist, this is a good omen sent from the gods, but Marc-André prefers the proofs he gets by counting the number of gold dust particles he digs from the mound tops. Straight on. Look out for that tree. Okay, that's great. Careful. Just a few centimeters. That's great. Okay. Got one crawling up my back inside my t-shirt. There? Ah, that's great. The machine is core drilling near the termite mounds 80 meters under the ground. The drill samples are identified and washed with large amounts of water to count the particles of gold. The in-depth surveys seem to confirm the work of the termites. Ah, that's great. Yes, great, boss. Super. Easily 200 gold particles in that termite mound there. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. As as the drilling machines continue their confirmation surveys, Marc-André is already prospecting a new zone. Like a good public relations man, he's asked the village chief to join him for the event. This chief is flattered that a Canadian multinational is doing the job in the same way his great-grandfather did. All gold prospectors have to reassure local authorities and their investors.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'd like to thank the Central African Republic Rural Radio for inviting me. We've sampled 6,000 termite mounds over the last 4 months and discovered that the subsoil in the Under-Seymour sector contains a series of new promising gold-bearing structures. We'd like to extend our sampling work to new termite cathedrals. Where's the gold field the termites found? We're just flying over the drilling machine, which is digging down deep to check the sample results. Only one gold find in 1,000 is worth mining. Marc-André goes back to Toronto to convince the investors. Gentlemen, the termites in the Central African Republic did a good job and told us where to look for the gold. The seam's nearly 5.5 kilometers long. I truly believe we should open at least one mine. This is not the first time Macrothermes termites have scored. They won their gold mandibles in the Niger and Zimbabwe, where one of the mines is codenamed Termite. Others have even won diamond mandibles in the precious stone fields in Botswana. Under an electron microscope, the gold samples look fine and smooth, which tells Marc-André that the sampling zones are probably not far from the seam. This technique uses the termite's ability to carry minerals to the surface from depths of up to 100 meters, over 300 feet. Marc-André's termites carried the Toronto Stock Exchange up too. Not all people and not all termites share the same values. In Australia, some are musicians. For Yaka and many Aboriginals, this eucalyptus branch hollowed out by the termites is the spiritual symbol of their culture. The yidaki or didgeridoo has given their music its bass notes for over 1,000 years, but termites have been around for over 100 million. Yaka remembers the ceremonies of his childhood. His family played the didgeridoo to release the warrior's spirit, the protector of their community. Ceremonies were opportunities to retell the old termite stories. They were interrupted by the arrival of the Europeans. Now machines have replaced the worker, or rather the craftsman, termites. But Yaka maintains the traditions of the oldest musical instrument in the world. Other termites prefer to be architects. Macrothermes termites build cathedrals and humnivores build temples. For the Aboriginals and the African tribes alike, the mystery of these architects of nature is believed to be a gift from the gods. Strangely, termites which destroy everything they encounter religiously avoid some varieties of shrubs. Others seem to worship the tree trunks in which they live. some termites build mounds which seem to defy the laws of gravity and logic. In the steppes of Australia, magnetic termites never lose their bearings. Their homes are just a few centimeters wide from north to south, but several meters long from west to east. The burning midday sun only strikes a very small surface of the mound, while the morning and evening rays warm both sides. To get the temperature they prefer and make the most of their air conditioning, the termites live on the east side in the morning and the west side in the evening. Made in termite land air conditioning equipment inspires today's architects. Termites may not have central heating, but they do have ideas. Their buildings have all mod cons and even air conditioning. The way it works is simple. Termite cathedral chimneys can be nearly 8 meters high. Made of earth, the chimney heats up during the day. As hot air rises, the chimney draws the cooler air out of the mound. At night, the termite's home is warmed by the heat stored in the ground during the day. Always focused on energy saving, British architects have taken on termite engineers. For example, the model for the Nottingham Inland Revenue Centre was a termite mound. A gigantic glass chimney controls fresh air distribution to the offices. At the University of Leicester, enormous 13-metre-high chimneys pull down fresh air which emerges directly from grids under the students' seats and bottoms. Engineer-architect Sandy Halliday has just found a new job for termites as trench diggers.
I've been really interested for some time in the prospect of studying animal architecture, but I couldn't see why anybody would give us research funding to study what's essentially spit and shit.
Termite droppings make excellent cement. They contain non-degraded sugars which act like superglue. To be able to avoid oncoming traffic in corridors made strictly to their size, the termite concrete mixers make garages like on mountain roads. In front of each building site, a soldier on duty protects the concrete layers. After identifying the exact place with their antennae, the worker termites bring in the grains of sand, then suddenly turn round to lay the cement in the gap.
In the future, we might find ourselves able to produce something like the kind of environmentally friendly cements which termites themselves presently produce from their own abdomens. And that would be an enormous step forward into a more environmentally friendly construction industry.
For Sandy, man has never invented anything, not cement and certainly not skyscrapers. A 3-meter-high termite mound would, on our scale, be a building towering 3 kilometers into the air. African civilizations have copied termite mound architecture for a long time, in particular in the mosques of Burkina Faso and Mali.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm here to present the project we've been doing on animal architecture. I'm expected. The manager's expecting me.
That's fine, thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Sandy is using a model to demonstrate her intriguing project based on animal intelligence to the Edinburgh Zoo directors.
The building that we've been looking at is based on the principles of animal architecture, in particular the termite mound, which forms this central core here. More research to go into that to figure out what we can really learn in terms of how to bond it. And this here will be the cafe and restaurant looking at this fabulous view.
If termite droppings inspire architects, termite farts thrill scientists as they release methane, produced by the bacteria which degrade food in their digestive tract. Scientists estimate that termite methane release contributes nearly 5% to global warming. Thierry and Alain are making field measurements. This peak shows the methane level. But it's hardly surprising termites fart. After all, they eat anything and everything. In Africa, farmers use termites as waste recyclers and ploughmen. Is that him? Yeah, that's him. Okay. That's our farmer who uses the termites. I'm thrilled. It's the first time I'm meeting a farmer who uses termites. Usually farmers here hate them. He says that even his grandparents knew about using termites. They used to say that men till the topsoil and the termites till the subsoil. They're complementary. When the earth dries out, but there's water 5 meters down, the termites bring up a little moisture. The technique developed by the Zai people uses the gluttony of the litter termites. They're attracted by laying straw on ground as hard as concrete. To get to it, the termites tunnel up from their nests, leaving small galleries. When the rains finally come, the water trickles down the holes to irrigate the earth. For peasants without straw, zebu dung might be an excellent alternative. Abdullah is trying to rehabilitate the old African Zai tradition. But the farmers have got into the habit of thinking of termites as crop pests. Alan is also convinced that termite stomachs are the best biofermenters around and their mandibles the most effective tunneling machines. Here we don't have straw, so we have no termites. Here we have straw, so we have termites. You can see the result for yourself, verdant vegetation. To convince their skeptical farmer colleagues, termite users are now conquering new adepts using popular theatre to express the benefits. The plot shows a peasant being lectured to by a scientist who is trying to convince him of the benefits of the Zai and the termite farmers. But the peasant remains convinced that the scientist is only interested in fertilizing his wife and not his fields. During this time, the peasant successfully continues the ancestral tradition of the Zai, who keeps his stock of straw in a tree. For Alain, termites are the ecosystem engineers. They've developed strategies so they really can eat everything and anything. These mounds are really pretty. Yes, there's about 45 kilos of food in there too. 45 kilos is enough for 1 million termites. Made from termite dung, these mounds are in fact the termites' mold farms. They tend these mounds very carefully, and some termites eat their pre-meal snacks there. Termites that eat mushrooms lack intestinal flora to dissolve their food. These molds break down and digest food for them. It seems likely that millions of years ago, the earth abounded with foods the termites could eat and digest without outside help. Did a long period of famine force them to start eating less digestible food? Perhaps they were saved from extinction by adding molds to their diet. The 2,500 termite species invaded the world by eating a very wide range of foodstuffs ranging from wood to earth and humus. No other animal has adapted so successfully. Everywhere there are branches, roots, brambles, grass or earth, termites find inexhaustible supplies. That's how they solved the main problem in life, getting the next meal. Although they look like it, these termite mushrooms are not mold farms. Their inhabitants, the earth-eaters, do not need extra help with digestion. Their digestive tracts are totally alien. They account for 70% of their body weight. The tracts are factories designed to produce chemicals able to dissolve and recycle every kind of food. This is what Alain finds so fascinating. The matter swallowed by the termites explodes under the action of the intestinal bacteria. The large molecules are transformed into easily degradable micromolecules. From their digestive tracts, Alain has succeeded in isolating bacteria with very futuristic applications. Termites were the first animals to understand the interest in joining forces with bacteria to digest food that other animals found inedible. Perhaps mankind could learn from them and use these bacteria to clean up the earth, or oil slicks, for example.
Pour dépolluer les sols, par exemple, ou demain les marées noires.
Termites are very resourceful. In Japan, they resisted the greatest tragedy of the last century, Hiroshima. This man has not come to pray for the victims of Hiroshima. To obtain their pardon, and so that the termites rest in peace, let us start the ceremony. For Kaido, Buddhism is not an empty word. I've been a termite exterminator for 30 years. I kill millions of termites every year, so I hold an annual ceremony to ensure their souls rest in peace. This ceremony is also an opportunity to pray for all those scientists who dedicated their lives to termites. Their names are inscribed on these funerary plates symbolically stored in a stone-built house. For Kaido, good prevention starts when the roof frame is built. By tradition, Prayers to protect the house from termites and other problems are printed on the timber and beams. At the time of the Kobe earthquake, termite mandibles contributed to the destruction of 80% of the timber frame houses. In Japan, the exterminators have their work cut out. But at least in the land of the rising sun, you make repentance while you get on with the killing.